So I feel like I was in a tiny bit of a cult.
But Bob Seger walks in here, I would probably like pass out and piss my pants.
You're like, that. I was actually looking for a cheeseburger.
I was in my car with the air conditioning blasting. Like I am in the fiery infernos of hell.
Obviously, I should send her my therapy bill. Agreed.
Well, that's literally like the topic of our podcast.
Right.
It's biased.
I am biased one way. We on?
Okay.
Rolling.
All right, and welcome to another episode of Listen Here's the Thing with me, Katie Kiefer.
And I'm Meko Price.
And our special guest, Mr. Nugget.
He's always here.
He's
Love
always
you.
here. Yeah, not really a special guest. An always guest.
And he's special. He's just not a guest.
He's very special.
He's
now
part of the show.
Yeah, he's just going to go back to
He's
sleep
over
now,
it
which is
already.
fine.
How are you? How was your week?
Oh, how was my week? Well, actually, so Chris was out of town.
Okay.
So if he's going to be gone more than 48 hours, I probably have some type of construction project that I do around the house. Like I have bruises all over my legs.
Like, do you like to do that so that you surprise him or so that he doesn't bug the shit out of you when you're doing it?
So he doesn't bug me. I grew up in a house where my dad was always fixing something, remodeling something. And sometimes it would take him like months to finish a project. So I feel like I've always lived in a construction zone where Chris did not grow up that way. So if something's out of place or it's not part of our regular flow, like he's annoyed.
Yeah.
He says he's not, and I can do these projects while he's home, but he doesn't like it at all.
He doesn't like the clutter.
Well, because everything that's in that bathroom right now is like in that entry walk of our front door. But why put it back when right now the whole construction project's done, but the painter's coming in and out, right? So I'm like, why would I put it back?
So you're doing all your stuff. Did you get it done?
So all the construction part is done. And it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was just like plain drywall. And a picture had fallen off the wall. So note to self, those command strips.
Yeah.
Been in the house for 9 years. 9 years shelf life. And then all of a sudden, like your picture is going to fall to the ground.
Oh.
And that's happened all around the house.
Okay,
So,
command strips. You can do better.
9 years
Let's go
shelf
3M.
life. So it fell down and it like nicked the trim. It knocked the toilet paper holder off the wall. So then I had a little bit of a hole there. And then the corner of the picture went into the wall behind the toilet. So that was dented. So I had to do all the patchwork. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to add a chair rail. And then I'm going to do like French
I know where
trim.
this goes, yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I had this window replaced and the trim work got put back on like super crappy. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to redo the trim and build a windowsill.
It's like that book When You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Do you remember
100%.
that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like that with any home improvement project,
Yes.
I feel like. Or even just a magic eraser. You ever do
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you grabbed your magic eraser and you're like, oh, I see a spot on the wall. Pretty soon, it's like midnight and you're still scrubbing like every tiny piece of the wall.
Yeah, but then it's also something I do with my dad.
Yeah,
And,
that is cool.
he doesn't hunt, he
very
doesn't
special.
fish, he doesn't golf. Like, he doesn't have like a hobby. His hobby is
Helping you.
helping me.
And me.
And you. He loves
I love your
chores.
dad. Yeah.
He loves fixing things. But now we've come to a point where I go, all right, instead of you just pushing me out of the way and be like, I'm doing this, you just sit there and tell me what to do. And then I should record our banter because every once in a while I'll be like, stop being an idiot. Like, what are you thinking, So it's kind of funny, just the little digs that we give each other, but in love.
Yeah.
All in love. So, yeah, but I mean, I didn't want to move the vanity. I didn't want to change out the toilet. Just small little updates. And so then that, configuring my body, putting the trim and everything up. So I banged myself up a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So.
Nothing a little spray tan won't cover.
Right? Well, that's why I have a longer skirt because it looks
skirt.
like all the bruises are around my knees. I just really feel like that looks good. So I have to wear a longer skirt.
What have you been doing in your free time, Katie? Well, I am getting ready for my big trip.
I know. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. So we'll leave it on Friday.
Have you been to
afternoon.
France before?
I've never been to France. I've been to the surrounding areas, but never France. So I'm super excited. So we have been, to Italy.
Yeah.
A couple times, and our main goal is to carry on. It sounds insane. It's worth it when you do it because when you're rolling your shit on cobblestone streets
No,
and
I get it.
from a plane to a train to a car, Anyway, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And really, you only have to pack for like a quarter of the trip, and then you just do laundry, even if it's in a sink.
That's like dropped European style.
And then since we're going to be in Paris first, we're going to get all of our toiletries there. We've already decided, the girls and I have, my daughters.
Okay.
So we're going to get like, not our skincare, but like our hair, soap, lotion there. And then we'll just have it.
Well, it's perfect
for the trip.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then I don't care if I check it on my way home because I'm going home.
Right. No, I get that. It's a huge bummer. You get there and you don't have your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge, but unlikely. Although I have lost my luggage before. Completely lost my luggage. Northwest Airlines, a long time ago, which was an airline before Delta, lost my luggage completely. Vanished.
Never to be
gone.
seen again.
Never. And all they said was, show us your receipts. I'm like, who the fuck keeps receipts for all? I don't even know what's in my luggage.
Right.
I had makeup, curling, like everything for 2 weeks of work clothes and shoes and hair and makeup.
Which is annoying stuff, like, because you were like had like a corporate sales job before.
Yeah.
So that's annoying stuff to have to buy again because it's not like fun purchases. Like you can get yourself a black suit and it lasts you a few years.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, you don't really know what you're missing until you go to use it.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, remember that one eyeshadow? I don't have it anymore.
Yeah. So I had my luggage lost on the way to my wedding. And I was worried about that. I was a little panicked because I was not a big traveler then. And we got married in Key West. So I carried on my wedding dress because it was like getting married on the beach. It was small and like, easy to fold up. But I went 2 days with no clothes.
Gift shop clothes.
Yeah, I bought we're in Key West, so it was easy to buy like shorts, a shirt,
I
and a
heart
bathing
margaritas.
suit. Yeah, right.
Can I have a yard of whatever slurpy drink you're drinking?
Yep. Oh yeah, no.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
Yeah. Oh, my wedding was an absolute. It was like another version of MTV Spring Break because Chris and I were the first ones to get married out of like our whole crew, and since it was like small and intimate. We basically paid for our college best friends to go on vacation for 4 or 5 days.
Wait, did you pay for them all to go?
We paid for the flight and their hotel room.
For your friends?
But this is back when you could book with a travel agent and get like bulk tickets on a flight. So it didn't matter where you lived. You had to get to O'Hare.
Okay.
And you had to fly on that plane. And it went like O'Hare, Miami to Key West. So randomly like super cheap flights, probably a very annoying time. Yeah. And we threw them in hotel rooms. It was like there's a girl room and there's a boy room.
Well, I'm sure they appreciated it.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody was like,
it was a free trip.
Yeah, like either still in college or just graduated, so they did not care. And it's the wedding,
slept on a park bench.
Basically, all their meals were pretty much covered because it was like organized.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't part of like a wedding festivity, then they had to like pay for their drinks.
And then they went to like McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean whatever it was. Yeah. The $1 hot dog on the street. Yeah.
That's a good deal for all of that.
It was super fun. I was a little uptight because it's my wedding and I just wanted to make sure like everybody woke up and showed up because the morning of our wedding, I like go to the girls' room and it's some of them were not there. And it's like, okay.
Girls.
So, yeah. But super fun. Great memories. Yeah. But, yeah, I was a little worried. I was like, thank God my wedding dress is in my carry-on.
Well, that's exactly why we carry on to go to France. So, or wherever. I try to carry on as much as possible. If it's not like, even if it's domestic. Even if I'm going to, I don't know, Cleveland. Wherever.
Oh, that sounds super fun.
That sounds. But I do carry on because then you have control of your luggage. The battle that you take is that you have to get on the flight to get the overhead space. Yeah. Which is where, if you're whatever status with an airline, that helps. But then that's the most stressful part. Is I got to get an overhead thing.
So, I mean, I'm going to New York for like 50 hours. And I'm like, should I check a bag?
Oh, no, I'm carrying 3 shoes, one of which I'm wearing.
Yeah.
The other 2. And then I have to get workout clothes in and outfits that I can rearrange with each other. Mm-hmm. So basically a capsule, right? So black, a lot of black.
Yeah.
Black, tan, and white are kind of my primary colors. And minimal hair, minimal makeup, because we're in France. Like no one and plus we're on vacation, so I don't really care. Hat, some good sunscreen. That's it. My Kindle, so I can read.
Yeah. Do you already have your books picked out, downloaded?
I have one that I just started.
What is it?
Just another murder mystery or something like that. I had to get back into a murder. There are too many fluffies about other things that I'm not used to that genre. We've talked about that before, right? So I was like, I just need a good killing. I do. So I'm back at it.
Okay.
With the murder.
All right. Mm-hmm. No. All right.
Yeah.
Share the title with me. I'll listen to it.
Okay. All right. If I think of it,
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the title. It's something about just another murder mystery or something. It's good so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen this stuff on Instagram, but all this cottage cheese like bread recipes keep like showing up in my feed. High protein, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah. And I hate cottage cheese.
It's curdled milk.
So I hated cottage cheese as a kid. It was a side dish my mom always put on the table. And
did she put jam on it?
No.
Oh.
Maybe pepper. But I hated it. And I hate the consistency of it.
It just makes me want to barf thinking about.
It kind of looks like
milk
like barf.
Barf.
Yeah. So, but because I would have to like force feed myself, there's times where I would be so stubborn. I'd be sitting at the kitchen table. The entire kitchen would be cleaned and I'd be sitting there with my plate and in an empty kitchen. Like, and I feel like my mom would walk through and turn the lights off. Like, you're staying here until you eat everything on your plate. And so always hated cottage cheese.
And you turned out fine.
I turned out just fine. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. So you put it in your blender, like a cup of cottage cheese, 2 eggs, and then I did like a handful of parm because it's like a harder cheese.
What are we trying to make here?
Bread.
Okay.
Okay. So I put a handful of parm in there and then just like garlic and pepper, and you bake it at like 375 for like 30 minutes. And it actually, so when you put it on the parchment paper, it just looks like really, really thin pancake batter. And I was like, there's no way this is going to work. Mm-hmm. Like, people are lying about the recipe. It actually turns into like a really thin, crepey flatbread.
Okay.
So high protein, obviously gluten-free and low carb.
So do you have to put a pound of butter on it with some honey to hide the fact that it's cottage cheese?
I made my dad and I wraps, like, on our lunch break during our, construction project. Like, I grilled up some chicken and chopped that up with like lettuce and sweet peppers. I made like this homemade spicy cilantro dressing and like rolled it up. It was delicious.
I don't believe you.
Well, I'll have to make it for you.
That sounds disgusting.
It was really good. But a good alternative.
Okay.
The thing is, it's not quick and easy because it has to bake for like 30 minutes and you can't use it right away. It has to cool a little bit. So, I mean, if you decide you want to use it, and you got an hour in advance to get everything going. So it's not quick and easy, but simple-ish.
Does not sound simple to me. I did use cottage cheese. Okay, I despise it. Might be the worst food group. I don't even know what cottage cheese is, actually. I think it's cultured milk, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's terrible to look at, smell, taste. I could never eat it. But I did put it in my scrambled eggs. My sister-in-law said, double your protein. Mm-hmm. She hates it too. She's like, I swear you can't taste it. Now, I did put like a ton of sauce or a ton of spices and garlic and stuff in it. And it hid a lot of the taste, but it was fine.
So those egg bites from Starbucks have cottage cheese in them.
They do?
Mm-hmm. If you read the ingredients, like when you buy them at Costco, you read
they should advertise that because less people would buy them.
Honestly, I think it's part of the blender process. I would throw your eggs and the cottage cheese in a blender, then add whatever the insides of your eggs are going to be.
Okay.
Because
that takes up a lot of time.
Because I tried doing, well, I know, but then it's not like cultured up in your eggs.
Okay, let's stop talking about it because it's going to make my stomach turn.
Listen, Here's the Thing is inspired by Be Alive. Are you ready to share your passions and creativity with the world? At Be Alive, their mission is to build brands and inspire people to chase their passions. They're always searching for dynamic storytellers and creators with a passion to join their team.
A team of dreamers, creators, seekers, united by a common passion for adventure and creativity. If you want to join the Be Alive creator community, maybe shop for some fun Be Alive merch, or catch up on all Listen Here's a Thing episodes and blogs, head over to Go Be Alive and join the Be Alive family. Be Alive, it's that simple.
Your skin looks really good.
Thank you. Okay, so I had that laser, and then I got hydrofacial after, and that's the key.
No, your skin looks really, really good.
Thank you. Back to the food thing really quick.
Oh, yeah.
I just ordered Hungry Root. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I used to do Hungry Root all the time.
So we got it because I had a coupon or whatever.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
We had salmon last night, and I just said gluten-free for Alex.
Yeah.
And, we got 4 meals from now until we leave.
So you did like the full meal.
So I just said I don't need, they asked me if I wanted breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I said no, I just want 1 meal a day because I don't want to, first of all, we don't cook lunch.
Right.
We pick whatever at lunch. And then dinner we usually have together.
Yeah.
So I just did 1 meal.
Because it kind of works like on a point system.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. So you'll see like when you get back from your trip and you do like the subscription version
I don't know
of
if I'm
it.
going to do it again.
Oh, okay.
The snacks were okay.
The snacks are okay, but like if you didn't want to do a full meal, because sometimes there's garnishes that come with the meal that I'm like, I don't want a kidney bean salad on my taco.
Yeah.
So instead of doing like the meals, had done it enough where I go, okay, I really love this smoked salmon. I really love like this shrimp. I really love some of the snacks. They have a black bean brownie mix. I highly suggest it. It
Really?
sounds disgusting because it's made with black beans. So,
Yeah.
but it's a high protein, gluten-free brownie mix.
I mean, we don't get enough protein.
It's really
Is
good.
the thing.
It's really good. Every once in a while, you'll get like a black bean skin, that it's kind of like throws you
As you're
off
trying
of
to
it.
eat a dessert, do you put it in ice cream and then you're like, oh my God, all of a sudden I'm eating
Okay, so
black bean
you
ice
probably
cream?
could put it in ice cream. I have not tried that. I just make like little tiny brownie cookies and put them like in the toaster oven, like really quick.
Okay.
Just to kind of curb that sweet
Yeah.
craving, and it's just enough, and it's good for you.
Okay.
So no, because I would do that Sakara stuff, that meal program that's gluten free, dairy free, like it's vegan, I think. Really, really clean, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
But my body felt so good when I was on it, but I was like, I can't keep this up. So then I switched to Hungry Root.
The thing with those meal plan things, it's just stuff you can buy. You just don't know what, at least I don't know what to put together a lot of times.
Oh, yeah, when it's
I
a
just
meal.
cook the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah.
But
like
then it
with-
gets really boring.
But like with the Sakara stuff, those are ingredients. I'm not going to Meijer in Michigan and finding like jackfruit the way that they have it, like in this meal.
Right. We just don't have it here.
So, but I do that when, I got on that because I was doing a boudoir shoot. And I was like, I need to have like my best body ever. And I did it for like a month. And it was killer.
worked.
And I looked great and I felt great and it was amazing. But my pocketbook was like, yeah, you should probably stop doing this and have a cheeseburger.
Just eat grass at home. You're fine.
Oh my gosh. So, but yeah, no, your skin's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. The Moxie laser is awesome.
So what's your downtime though? Because you said like you don't wear makeup for so long.
So my downtime was less this time. So it was weird. The first time I ever did it, my downtime was like 6 days.
Okay.
Like not down and out, like I couldn't function. It was just
Yeah,
that.
and it's not like you had hamburger face where you're like,
No.
I can't leave for 4 days.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically what the sensation is, it's like coffee grinds on your face. It's how the only way I can describe. And you have to let that fester because that's all of like the brown coming out of your skin and the hyperpigmentation. And then you just have to let it kind of sift. And it took a while because I must have had a lot of stuff coming out the first time. Second time, and so I had my first one done, what is this month? June? I had the first one done in like March.
Okay.
And now I did it again last week and I shedded less, like I had less coffee grinds quicker, if that makes sense. So I had it done last Monday And I was coffee grinding skin. I had it by Tuesday.
Okay.
Which was really quick.
I would say for like me, like the, PBS, announcement would be that you should probably do it twice within like a 3-month period.
Oh yeah, you can do it like 4 times a year.
Okay. Because I would say seeing you the first time you had it done.
Yeah.
And then you right after you having it the second time. And then now, totally. Like, I'm sold. Sign me up.
There
Check.
you go.
Ding. Yeah.
There you go. Do it. So in fall, I'm going to do it again with BBL. You've had BBL.
Yeah.
So it's one machine now.
Okay.
That's what we bought.
Okay.
So one machine, Moxie, and then BBL, and then it's broadband light. So it goes on So I think you do it first. You do the BBL first.
Okay.
Then you do Moxie.
Okay.
And Moxie's more like Clear and Brilliant, except deeper, or like more coverage.
Is your
area.
face on fire like after
No,
a Clear
we're
and
numb.
Brilliant?
You're numb.
No, but like after like an intense Clear and Brilliant, or maybe I'm not thinking of Skin Pen. I'm thinking of Clear
Yeah,
and
they're
Brilliant.
both intense.
I just remember the first time I had it done must not have been that intense. I was like, oh, this is easy. The second time I had it done, I was in my car with the air conditioning blasting. Like I am in the fiery infernos of hell.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh my God.
It's spicy.
It's
spicy, but
it goes away
it
fast.
does.
Like,
but
once
I don't
you're-
know
yeah.
what's spicier than wearing off of the numbing, because we have really strong numbing cream.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like when you're gonna get a cavity done.
Yeah.
And then your numbing cream or numbing stuff wears off.
Yeah.
Novocaine, and then you're like biting your lip because you can't feel it. It's sort of like that with your face.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
So, but it's not as hot as Clear and Brilliant. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't.
So I'll have to get that done post my child's golf season, just because.
Yeah.
Being the son. But we were at a tournament for Kylie Memorial Day weekend, and 90% of the time Chris is like traveling or doing something, so he doesn't really get to be at every tournament. But I've been at enough with her now that I know exactly what she needs. So I have everything. She packs her own golf bag. She has everything set up in there, but I have all the extras just in case. So I have extra balls, I have extra tees, I have markers, I have Band-Aids, I have tape, I have
Snacks.
Gas X, I have snacks, water, Celsius, all like literally like I'm.
Time out. Gas X? Does she get
Yeah.
the farts on the golf course?
Well, just in case, like she eats something that bothers her stomach, I don't want her to have to worry about it. So yeah, pop a couple Gas X and get the bubbles out. Yeah.
You just should fart in the air.
Oh, I have Tums too. No, but sometimes like if it's something that she eats and it bothers her stomach, and I know for fact, like you just need that extra little medicated push out, right? And you're outside.
Yeah.
So all right. And then
Okay.
hey, maybe
All is well in the world.
right. So, fully prepared.
Okay.
For all
Okay.
things. So, so Chris calls me the mommy golf vending machine because I know like what the code is. So it was like rainy and windy and all this stuff, and she had her raincoat on. Well, she took her raincoat off because the sun came out for like 9 seconds, and she was walking up to the green, and she went to go mark her ball and realized her coat's back at like her bag, and she looks at me and just starts doing stuff with her hands, and I walk right over and hand her a ball marker and walk back, and Chris is like, how did you know? And I'm like, well, I just know. Like, how would you not know?
Right.
She took her coat off. Obviously all of her extra gadgets are in her coat. I'm like, I'm prepared. I'm
You
like
read the tea leaves.
right? Yes. Yeah. I'm the mommy golf vending machine. So that's what he calls me. So, but then, the other great thing I discovered, so Go-Go Squeeze. Like
Yeah.
you've been giving those your kids.
Since they're baby.
Yeah. But like the applesauce
Yes.
version. They make one now that has electrolytes in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What flavor?
Applesauce?
Oh.
Yeah. So they're just like the applesauce,
That's
like
cute.
squeeze ones. Yeah. So I was a little overserved. Was I at your house? Probably. Yeah. And the next morning, I had a couple of those babies to kind of,
Electrolytes help for after drinking?
So better than water, because that's really what your body's missing when it's dehydrated is the electrolytes. Yeah.
Oh, that's why people drink Gatorade.
Yes.
If you
and
can stand
Pedialyte. Yeah.
the taste.
Yeah. But
It's gross.
So I'm a big fan. But I would make her have those every once in a while. It's like, you need to keep up your stamina. Like, this is your first big
Let's
golf
go.
tournament. Yeah.
Let's go, Kylie.
Yeah.
Yes. Hole in one.
I know. So, but we were back at our, where mine and Chris's love began. The tournament was at Fair State. So we were, so then did like a full tour, like around town, like, oh, I lived here with, Auntie Tessa and Auntie Aurelia, and then took pictures. And then you like tell somebody that you're there, and now everybody wants pictures. What does the old house look like? What does this look like?
Right.
Take me here. And I was like, oh, the old SE house now is a dog groomer. Like,
Aw.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I mean, these are beautiful historical homes, as you know. So it's kind of nice that someone's bringing it back to its beauty, because when fraternity boys or college kids live in a house,
right.
I mean, they're not really taking advantage of the amazing woodwork that is in one of those houses. But yeah.
Fun.
Go Bulldogs.
I miss Big Rapids a little bit. Sometimes.
It's so different.
So cute. Let's go Bulldogs. Did you watch the documentary? Katie and I are obsessed with cults.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not to be creepy and not to be.
Not that we don't want to. Well,
I don't want to join one. I just want to know everything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm also very intrigued by not only cults, but religion, different religions. I don't want to join it all. I just am intrigued by how they all operate, like the inside workings of a religion or a cult. And I'm not saying a religion is a cult. I'm just saying that sometimes they're one and the same.
Right.
So that TikTok documentary, what is it?
Dancing with the Devil.
With the Devil, yeah.
So normally if something evil's in the title, I won't watch it. But I was intrigued.
Out of what?
Yes.
Principle?
Because I'm scared it's going to be something that scares me.
Yeah. Like horror films for us are just
no. And then when you bring in like evil and like devil and stuff and like that, like
paranormal,
gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so these sisters, how adorable are they?
They're so cute.
They're from Michigan.
Yeah, they're from the Detroit area. I will say I did go out down a little bit of an Instagram spiral. The one sister who's like in the cult, Miranda, I was going through hers, and she does have a dancing video with her husband, and she's wearing a Bob Seger shirt. And
is.
I was like, I almost kind of want to like this, but I don't want to.
They're both adorable.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're sisters dancing. If you haven't seen the documentary, go to it. It's on Netflix. But these two girls were dancers their whole life.
Yep.
And then the one sister, Miranda, the one that's on the right, wanted to go to California.
Yeah.
And further her career in
dancing.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But didn't they become famous like over the pandemic?
Yeah, they would dance together.
Yeah.
And created I believe they started on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then got super famous being like these dancing sisters and like having content, and they were influencers. Like they were sponsors. Yeah. So, I mean, they had a good thing going. And I get it. The older sister's like the first one to branch out, and she's like, I'm going to go to LA. And,
Wait, was she older? I thought the yellow girl was older. Melissa was older.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll follow your lead on that. Yeah, but
matter.
okay, the one that was bold enough to be like, hey, I'm leaving the Midwest and I'm going out to LA.
But the other sister followed too.
Yeah.
For a minute. And then that's when it all went south. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Stop this. Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Because we're going to spoil everything right now.
Right.
Because then they got involved with that church. The guy that was like, hey, come on over. We're going to produce your dances.
So I realized it was a little deeper into them being a part of this church, but if I was ever a part of a church and my pastor asked me to sign an NDA about the sermons, you are not preaching the gospel, because if you truly are a man of the Lord, like you're going to be like, tell the masses. Like there's literally a song called Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no, we're going to keep this all under lock and key.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And he was recruiting people to come in, which I thought was odd too. And they didn't even really say what religion it was. Did they?
I think that he's preaching Christianity.
I know, but like what specific? Like, I don't know if they ever were like, oh, you're Presbyterian, he's Episcopalian.
Oh, yeah. No,
like,
they don't state anything like that.
Made up shit, basically.
Yeah.
Right? So this guy is telling these kids what to do. And then wasn't it his son?
Oh, his son's like the videographer.
Yeah. And he was like, hey, let's start a production company called 7M.
Yep.
And so that's how they got all these dancers to come. And they were like, oh, part of the production crew, or as part of the production company, you have to come to church.
Yeah.
And we have to tell you what to do. And they're all like, okay.
So I'm always curious when it's, whether it's Scientology or even Christianity, whatever it is, a cult or a religion of any sort, that as someone else on the outside goes, okay, this is a little off, this is a little strange, this is a little weird, right? What is that person going through that is like, you know what, I should be a part of this? It used to blow my mind as like a teenager. Like, you drive through the city of Chicago and they would have these billboards that would say, if you're looking for a sign, this is it, join the priesthood. Okay, if you're looking for a sign on billboards on the side of like 94 going through the city, I'm pretty sure God is not calling you to the priesthood.
Yeah. You're like, I was actually looking for a cheeseburger. That is not the sign I was looking for.
So it's like, at what point are you like trying to like pull somebody just out of like, who's down on their luck?
Well, I think it's also the same personality. If you look at, I'm obsessed with these cult shows, and it always seems to be the same personality.
Yes.
The seekers. Mm-hmm. They're like seeking something. They're seeking to belong somewhere. They're seeking friendships.
Yeah.
They're seeking like the family that they never had or wanted.
But see, this is what blows my mind. Now, granted, you don't know everything about these sisters, but the mom and dad seem like good Midwestern parents.
Yeah.
And like everybody loves each other. And so that's what really blows my mind.
Right.
It's not like, oh, my mom and dad were divorced and, and then on this whole rampage of just downhill, all the things.
Yeah.
So that's what's really strange.
Yeah, that was strange about her. But I think she was so enthralled with this guy.
Oh, yeah. Love can make you do those kinds of things.
Love can make you do crazy shit.
Yeah.
And so it was him that they were connected to the church, and then she felt a belonging, and they were producing her videos and making her pretty famous.
Well, that could help. That could help too, right? Someone's like helping enhance your career.
So then she's almost like she has this obligation to this church. Mm-hmm. So then they keep her on the hook with her parents and her family, just so that stops the noise. It stops all of the noise of like that backlash. Because the whole thing, the reason why it was exposed is because the parents and the sister came out on a video and said, our daughter is in this cult and we can't reach her. And these people are crazy.
But but then their video came out, and then other parents were like, "Hey, my kid is a part of this too." Yeah. So obviously there was like a whole trend. Mm-hmm. So
at least, like the mom said, she's like, at least I can see her. She's not the same person. Mm-hmm. She's like a shell of a person. So it's not even just like whatever they did, they got their claws into her and brainwashed her to think that her parents are some kind of evil people.
But it's kind of the same thing like Scientology. If you're not a part of it, they kind of tell you to like distance yourself from your family.
Yeah.
Or if you choose to leave and your family's still in it, like they're not supposed to talk to you.
Right.
Jehovah's Witness is the same way.
So is the Amish.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to be real.
That's
right? True. But also, NXIVM. Did you watch that documentary?
Yes. And okay. I'm going to be completely honest right now.
I know you said you would join.
I would have joined. The way that they describe
they advertise it like a rock
oh
star.
My gosh. Like I would want to get my next colored scarf. And Chris always teases like, you're so lucky you married me. Otherwise you would have joined a cult by now.
You would have gotten out though.
Oh, as soon as I would have had to start sending, if I got into like the special group and I had to start sending pictures of my food, I would have been like, is Ruffles potato chips dipped in Chick-fil-A sauce on the diet plan? Which it was not. Like they made you like super skinny.
Oh, and then they're like, will you please get my initials tattooed on your vagina?
Yeah, no, I would have been out by the food. I wouldn't have had to carve anything in my leg by then. So I will say though, I did 2 weeks of the Teddy Mellencamp all-in thing.
Oh yeah, was that a cult?
You had to send pictures of your food.
And
I'm telling right now, that was right after I had watched that podcast or watched that documentary, and I was like, oh shit, this is kind of familiar. But I mean, they're not really watching over you. It's an honest game, right? So yeah, I'd send pictures of my egg and avocado with nothing extra, and my toast with butter would be off to the side if I was hungry. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing when it's like I'm eating emotion or a boredom or something, right? And I did learn good things from doing it, but it was just so funny when I had to send pictures of what I was eating.
Hell no.
Or if you went to a restaurant, you had to take a picture of the menu and send it to them, and then the person would tell you what you could eat.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's how cults start.
Yeah.
Don't you think? It's
I
not
stopped
even
it,
like
yeah.
it's not even Big Brother. It's mental manipulation over what you're doing, what you're seeing, what you're watching, what you're eating,
Yeah.
who you're seeing.
Well, there was like a lot of like glitter speech, like when you would send something and be like, that's a great meal, you go, girl. And I get it. Like maybe some people are just so
maybe someone needs that.
out of touch of like, what should I eat? And that's very, very helpful for them. I was just straight off of this documentary and I was like, oh goodness.
Lord.
I'm gonna get
Is
TM
that
carved
still
in my leg.
going?
It is still going because I was a part of like some of these special Instagram channels. They're probably going to look me up now and cut me off of everything. But so yes, but I think maybe because she's not on The Real Housewives anymore, that it's just maybe it's either not as popular or she has a good enough following that it's just continuing to replenish itself. But you're just not seeing it because she's not on Bravo.
Oh, got it.
But it's definitely like the Instagram strategy is not as strong as it used to be.
Oh. Well, also her dad's a dick.
Do you know him?
John Mellencamp?
Well, I know of him. You know him?
Well, I don't know him. I met him once, and he was a total douchebag.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you guys go ahead with your cult food, and goodbye.
I know, but how crazy is that? And then, but what I love on those documentaries, especially the NXIVM one, is how the people that were like at the top, right?
Scarves and all that.
Yeah.
Keith Raniere is in prison.
Keith Raniere's in prison. I feel like the lady that was his right-hand person is now apologetic. I'm remembering this from like a while ago.
So the Allison girl, the blonde, who used to be an actress.
But she's like, no one hears from her, right?
Right, because I think she's probably buried somewhere underground.
Like the wife of the guy from Scientology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Musgraves. Isn't that his name?
No.
Miscavige.
Yes.
Miscavige.
Yes.
His wife is just off camera for the
For
last
9 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that guy in NXIVM, he was like a big guy. Like he was a big scarf guy. He worked with like Raniere and all them. But then he started, I think it was his wife or girlfriend or something. It's been a while since I watched it.
So it was him and his friend. They were in NXIVM together, and
Yeah.
she was married to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
He's married to somebody else, and they escaped.
Yes.
And they wrote this documentary.
It was
She's
brilliant.
Canadian. That's how I remember
Okay.
it. And he was like narrating it. And thank God this Keith Raniere guy was so narcissistic that he wanted everything recorded. Oh, it was shown.
Oh.
It was all recorded.
Oh, but see, that's where men who take power, or anybody who takes power that way, that documentary, Stay Sweet and Pray.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fundamental.
What about Mother of God?
Oh, that was weird.
The Silver Lady.
But the fundamentalist, what are they? Mormons.
Mormon.
So when the dad dies and the son takes over, he was the same way and recorded like all that stuff with like people that should not have been recorded, like young girls and everything. Like
Totally illegal.
oh my
Totally
gosh!
illegal.
But then had like a
Makes me
full
crazy.
safe of videos and tape
And
recordings
his
and stuff.
parents were like, go with him. Go with him.
Right?
He's the second coming of Christ.
No.
Go with him. That's what I hate. All these cults are giving God a bad name. They really are.
Yes.
Like anybody that is maybe on the fence about religion at some point really just is like, fuck that.
Yeah. No, I'm a Christian woman. I love the Lord, but I'm telling you, I see the red flags when I see red flags. And my big thing is my pastor will never tell me to sign an NDA.
Hell no.
He might tell me to stop swearing, but he'll never tell me to sign an NDA.
So I feel like I was in a tiny bit of a cult when I was a child. So cult meaning like, so my parents divorced when I was 6, right? My mom was a single mom. This is like 1979,
Okay.
78, 79. So getting divorced in a small town was not really trendy.
Yeah.
And so she was like, you're going to join every religious group that we can think of. So my church, obviously. And then down the street was this other church, and they had this group called Awana, and it was part of the Baptist church.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I still remember some of the songs because they're like haunting in my head. We had to wear vests.
Oh, yeah.
And you earned patches.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like Girl Scouts.
It's sort of like Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
No, my neighbors growing up, I went to Awana and had like the little vests and all that
And then you got like scarves and shit, kind of like the Nexium people. And I remember them coming up to me saying, your parents are divorced. They're going to go to hell.
That's awful.
Like, so their biggest focus was how you are going to be like going to hell, not about how like awesome the being in the religion and how you could be saved by God. That wasn't their main
You shouldn't
point.
use fear as a motivator.
Right.
If fear is a motivator for something, run. Red flag.
So
Gone.
they would say to me like, even if it's in your thought, then you're sinning. And I remember as a kid always thinking like, oh, I feel like I'm sinning all the time because I have these crazy ass thoughts. But in fact, it was kind of a mini cult.
Well, and as an adult who probably has thoughts all the time that are probably not aligned with what you think that your religion says that they should be aligned with. I mean, we're human. Right? That was the whole point of all of Christianity. We're going to mess up. We need to be forgiven.
Right.
Lead with positivity and happiness. A smile and a twinkle in your eye.
I was not in a cult, but that seemed cult-ish in retrospect.
Well, yeah,
like
the
my
way
mom
that they went after
obviously
it.
wouldn't have put me in a cult. But, but she didn't know any better. And she's just like, please go learn about God because right now
like things are a mess and I just want a positive spin on like, you know, your activities.
And so these were not the right people. Also very judgy. I just remember being very judged all the time.
For a small town.
For a small town.
Come
They're
on,
the
people.
judgiest people sometimes.
Well, yeah, because everybody knows everybody's business.
Yes. Yeah. Good and bad.
So
just like book clubs in the past. We're in a good book club now.
Yeah.
We are. We read good books. We have good people. It's a good vibe.
We were kicked out of book club without knowing we were kicked out of book club.
That was embarrassing. Especially when we responded to a text.
Oh my gosh, that was the best.
So,
you know, every book club's going to have like their group text or group email or whatever, but I would say group text mostly. And this book club that we were in, and then all of a sudden just like never got updates. But it kind of happened during COVID, so okay.
Sort of natural, but really
it was
not.
Kind of
it
like
was
a
pretty
natural
abrupt.
disbanding. So
we just stopped being included on the texts and
Yeah.
emails about
Like
the
we just
next
did, yeah.
book. We're like, haha, I wonder what book we're reading.
Right?
Well, I guess we're not reading one.
But then it's like, fast forward, it's like 3 years later.
Yeah.
And somebody who was hosting book club found an old book club group chat and was like, hey, my house at such and such time, can't wait to see all of you. And I just remember looking at it, I was like, if I could have been like an Instagram reel where like the friend is like running over, or what is it? When it like come over and day drink with me, but it's Forrest Gump and it's a little boy when he's running and his braces come off. Like that's what I was like coming to your house like, oh my gosh, did you see this? I'm like, we should respond. We should be like, we can't wait. We should have responded.
We should have just shown up. We should have shown up and been like, surprise.
Yay, we're
have you
here.
missed us?
We didn't read the book, but tell us all about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So.
I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody else who's been kicked out of book club except us.
No.
I mean, we take the trophy, but whatever.
That's fine.
That's good.
But you know what? The other podcast that we did like a couple ago, I was like, I haven't finished your book. I will say it was a lot of lead up. What was the name of the book again?
Hello, Beautiful.
Hello, Beautiful. It was actually really good.
It was good.
It was really good. But you got to get through all the character building. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you do need all of the character building to get to like
the end.
Yeah, by Audible standards, the last 2 hours of the book. You do.
And then it becomes very emotional.
Yes.
And it was all good. The book we're reading for next book club is super good, though.
Oh my gosh, I did too.
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Yes, so good.
Such a good book.
Somebody, Netflix, please turn this into like a series.
It has to
Don't
be a
give me a
series.
movie because movie leaves too much out. Give me a series, detail by detail of the book.
It almost seems like Elizabeth Taylor's life.
I'm sure it was probably loosely.
It must
I've
have
done
been
no
based on
research
her.
on it, but
Only
maybe
because
loosely based.
Elizabeth Taylor had a million husbands.
Yeah.
And some of them, although the end
Yeah.
was not her, possibly.
No. But such a good book.
It's so good.
So, but you hosted this last book club.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was great.
Yeah. But hey, you found a theme because it's a Chicago-based
Chicago.
book.
I didn't know if I was going to find a theme because I was like, oh, Four Sisters, Italian.
Yeah.
What's my theme going to be?
I
But
will
it was
say
in
you had
Chicago.
big shoes to follow because another gal in our book club, when she did The Women,
Yeah.
I mean, her house had like American flags
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's incredible.
She had all the
I missed that
food
one.
like from the book. And we're standing there like chit-chatting like around her island. And okay, like 70s, late 60s, 70s music's playing. I'm like, okay, so she, either they like this kind of music or maybe she was trying to find a theme. Well, when like God Bless America started playing, I go, did you curate a playlist for this? And
That's
she's
next
like,
level.
she's like, no. But when, you Google, like, because you can, if you are in a book club and you don't know what to do and it's your turn to host, you can Google your book. You can Google like book club questions, like themes,
Right.
all this kind of stuff. So somebody had already curated the Spotify playlist. That whoever that is and whatever that book club
Please
is, I
keep doing
probably
that.
keep doing it, but I probably wouldn't be invited to their book club.
No, that's a serious book
That
club.
is a super serious book
Yeah.
club.
I like our book club because it's like serious enough, but not.
Like no one's mad if you have something going down and you can't show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
things like we all have lives.
And we got
stuff.
into a great discussion about Harrison Butker. We always have to bring it around.
We did.
And we voiced our opinions and everybody else voiced theirs.
Yeah, everybody's entitled
Agree
to their
to
own
disagree,
opinion.
yeah.
And sometimes you just have to agree to disagree.
Right.
So
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a great discussion.
I feel like I still have a discussion with this every time I'm like with my dad. Does it because he has very old-fashioned principles, which is fine. But I'm like, if it comes from a man's perspective, step outside and be a woman for 9 seconds.
Yes.
And think about it if you can. And
Which is so funny to me from your dad because he raised 2 daughters.
He raised 2 daughters. What I tried to explain to him is why, and I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, right?
Right.
And loved every minute of it. But what I tried to explain to him is like, think about my lifespan with my husband, okay? And with an entrepreneurship, there are ebbs and flows. There's times where like the money's rolling in and you're like, I hope it stays this way forever. And
Right.
there's times where it's like tumbleweeds, right? You're just desolate. So you have to prepare well. And there was a time he was turning the business around, and it was like, okay, well, until I'm secure to take home a paycheck, I'm not. We're just going to live off what we have, and we're going
Right.
to be. And that made me nervous. So it got to a point where I was like, screw this, I'm going back to work full time,
Right.
But I made that decision. Now, imagine somebody else who's just like going the flow, stay-at-home wife, doing this, and he's like, we lost all our money and now I'm leaving you. Like, you don't even have a good divorce settlement and you haven't worked for 30 years. What are you gonna do now?
Right.
Like, and he was like, okay, never thought about it that way. I did not put that into perspective. So, sometimes you just have to know all perspectives before you can just have such a firm stance that you won't listen to anybody
Correct.
else. It's okay to agree to disagree, but sometimes you have to listen to other perspectives.
Right. And I felt like we listened to other perspectives.
Yeah.
I did.
And I respect them too.
Because I thought he had some great points in his
Yeah.
speech about family, about leadership. Like he was totally spot on about that. I love that because I know some people, some of the feedback was, okay, would you rather have an NFL player talking about beating his wife? Obviously no.
Right.
Right? But also, you can't also be misogynistic at the same time, which he kind of was.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with me, don't come at me. I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
Like, just, we're agreeing
Well,
to
that's
disagree.
literally like the topic of our podcast.
Right.
It's biased.
I am biased one way. It's fine. It's fine if no one else agrees.
yeah.
That I was in a cult. All of it. I wasn't in a cult.
Oh, goodness. So how did you prepare for book club, Meko?
Well, I read the book.
Perfect.
Step one. No, I was trying to figure out what the theme should be. That was my biggest battle. And, of course, in my paced fashion, I prepared for it the day of. And so panicked, ordered Amazon little flags of Chicago the night before.
It was super cute.
And then also just went to Eastman Party Store and said, can you make a charcuterie board for 15 people?
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
That was
They did a great job.
That was
you had Garrett's popcorn.
I did have
because it was Chicago themed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I ordered that
perfect.
from Amazon.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it, honestly.
Yeah.
It.
So randomly, when our other friend hosted book club, and it was the women, didn't even think about it, but I had my little like USA like golf sweater and wore it, and I was like, ooh, I'm on theme. Like I was like kind of excited for myself. So I thought I wanted to be on theme for you. They never talked about the Chicago Bears in the book. It was always about the Bulls. It was always about, well, I mean, he was a basketball player.
Book.
I get it, but come on now, people. So I thought about still just wearing a bear sweatshirt there, but I didn't.
That's okay. So it still worked out.
It did.
So I forgot about, speaking of books.
Yeah.
One book that I think should be the staple for any dad that has a daughter. Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters.
You and Randy have been saying that since we met you.
Yes.
So that's really good to know.
I mean, I've read it, and he's read it like a bunch.
Yeah.
But it just talks about the relationship between the father and the daughter and how that will be a path for her life forever, and how it will lead to her relationships, not only with men, but with other women, relationships, bosses.
Yeah.
Like just how that bond is so important.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I completely agree. I have an amazing relationship with my dad. It's a relationship that Chris has like said he wants to have with our daughter. And I will say I definitely made dumb decisions in my life in the past, but not with men, because I've always had such a strong male role model in my life that I was never seeking a need of attention.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You never had to seek approval from a man.
Nope.
Because your dad gave you the example of what your standards should be.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how confident you are.
Yeah. So, Super Dave's up on a pedestal.
He is.
Very
He
high.
is.
Yeah.
I had a dad that was sort of like, well, my dad passed, but I didn't grow up with him. And so he was, I don't know, he wasn't that way.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. R.I.P. Ted Lynn. Anyway.
But a must read.
A must read.
Okay.
Meg Meeker. I think she's a psychologist. I don't know what she is. But it's an old book.
But it's still around, so it probably has lasting.
Around.
Yeah.
Glow Medical Spa is Mid-Michigan's premier med spa for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging. The trained nurses and estheticians at Glow specialize in non-invasive facial aesthetics such as toxins, fillers, and lasers, as well as Black Diamond Icon status for Hydrofacial. Glow Body specializes in body contouring with Ensculpt Neo, Emcella, weight loss clinic, and therapeutic massage. Book an appointment today at glow-skinspa.com. Are you ready to transform your body and mind? Rebar Fitness Studio in Midland, Michigan is what you're looking for. Rebar isn't just a fitness studio, it's a community where strength meets serenity. Whether you're flowing through a yoga sequence, sculpting with bar, or unleashing your energy in a work or pound class, Rebar Fitness Studio offers something for everyone. Their expert instructors create an inspiring and supportive environment that will have you reaching your goals and loving every minute of it. Elevate your fitness journey. Join the Rebar Fitness Studio family today and discover the workout experience you've been waiting for. You can go to rebarmichigan.com and use code LHTT15 to receive 15% off a punch card or monthly membership.
Okay, my questions for you, and you have questions for me.
I do, always.
What is your favorite Broadway show?
Oh, my favorite Broadway show. Well, hands down, it's Wicked. I've seen it 6 times, and I love it so much. But, quick Broadway conversation. So Kylie and I were walking the dogs yesterday, and because we're prepping for this trip to New York, and we know we're going to see a show, she's now listening to all of her Broadway music. We had such a fun little game while we were walking the dogs, because it would be what's your favorite musical number? What's your most memorable this? What's your most memorable that? That was really fun.
Oh, that's
I really
cool.
enjoyed that. But yes, hands down, it's Wicked.
Okay.
So, of which you fell asleep in when you saw it, and I will take you and have you watch it and stay awake. So I won't overserve you cocktails so that you stay awake the whole time. All right, my questions are all either or this time.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather have a really bad haircut or a really bad dye job?
A bad haircut.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I can style it any way that I need to, but not a dye job is like you're done.
Bad dye job is terrible.
And it can also change the color of your skin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For sure. Haircut. Okay. A place where you haven't traveled but want to go.
I really want to go to Copenhagen.
Okay.
I don't know why. I love the pictures that I see. I feel like everybody's just happy there. I want to go to Copenhagen.
Okay.
That's on your
bucket list.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Are you more of a glass half full or glass half empty gal?
Oh, for sure, glass half full.
Yeah. No, you are. But everybody has their half empty moments.
For sure.
But yeah, I would definitely agree with you.
Okay, famous person, dead or alive, to have dinner with.
This is deep because I want to take advantage of this answer. Because normally, like off the cuff, I'd be like Bob Seger.
I knew you were going to say that.
It still is off the cuff 100%. Because
would you have a ton of questions for him?
Oh yeah, because he writes his own songs like a real musician. I want to be like, is Fire Lake really about Fife Lake? Because he's a Michigan guy, right? What is 12 hours out of Mackinac City? That could be many places. Where are you at? Yeah.
Okay.
You stopped in a bar to have a brew. What kind of beer was it? Yeah.
So many questions for Bob.
So many questions.
Come on over, Bob. We'll have you on our podcast.
Okay, yeah. But Bob Seger walks in here, I would probably pass out and piss my pants.
I feel like that would be a great ask. I think it's reasonable to have Bob Seger on the show.
Just to see if I pass out and pee my pants.
I think it would be great. Also, for that reason,
yeah.
But I don't know that I think he might have a lot of free time these days. I'm just guessing.
Oh.
Well,
he's retired now.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Would you rather live in a world where you'd be attacked by zombies or attacked by vampires?
Vampires. Because you live forever.
Yeah. Zombies would just be gruesome. And then you'd be like
I hate
slothing
ghosts.
Around. And
they're so gross. Ever since Thriller video
that
in 1985.
Terrified me as a little kid.
Terrible.
Uh-huh.
Terrible. I hate zombies. Who is your celebrity doppelganger? Who do you think looks like you?
Oh, Kate Hudson.
I agree.
Yeah. Not straight on and probably not right now. But when we were in our 20s, that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days came out. And straight on, I don't think it's that way. It was our profile, and we had the same color hair to the point that it even wigged me out a little bit. Certain scenes in that movie where I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. You look like her.
Although when Kylie was little, one of her little friends thought I was Blake Lively. I do not look like her at all. This is not like a Love is Blind situation. Yeah. But I was like, oh, this little girl's my new best friend.
I can see Blake Lively a little bit.
Yeah, maybe like her much older sister, but
Well, she does have an older sister.
I know, Robin Lively. Did you ever watch Teen Witch when you were little?
No.
Oh my God, that was one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, she's an actress.
Yes,
right.
and she was also in Not Quite Human. Mm-hmm. Loved that movie too.
Robot girl.
No, that was Small Wonder.
Oh.
Not Quite Human is a robot boy. Her brother was a robot.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was on Disney Channel.
Okay.
Yeah. And do you know that in an opening scene, she's eating popcorn while doing her homework? And that was embedded in my brain that's something to cool while you do your homework.
Is eat popcorn?
Is eat popcorn while you do your homework. And
Does it make you smarter?
I did it all the time.
Oh.
I don't know. I just thought she was so darling, and I
Yeah.
wanted to grow up and be like her. That's why I wanted to be a dental hygienist, because my dentist had beautiful dental hygienists. And I thought if I became one at like the age of 4 or 5, that you would just automatically be beautiful.
Right.
So that's what and then I actually had to like clean people's teeth, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I quickly changed my major. Would you rather live in a world where a certain store, like your favorite store, like Nordstrom's, Neiman's, whatever you want it to be, everything is free, or your favorite restaurant, none of the food have calories?
Oh, free Nordstrom or Neiman's.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, I have one more.
Oh,
randomly.
okay.
We did say we were only going to do 4, but I do. Okay. Midland edition. You're at work.
Okay.
Would you prefer to bring your lunch from home or buy lunch?
Bring.
Yeah.
We're limited here in Midland.
I know.
I don't know if you've noticed.
I know, but a Greek salad from Lasco's.
No, it's the best.
So good.
And also Lasco's, which is one of our favorite restaurants of all time, they closed 2 weeks in August.
I know.
Well deserved.
Yep.
Randy actually puts it in our family calendar. Because
there is nothing more disappointing than going to like go there and
you drive
closed.
all the way over there and you're like, seriously?
Yeah.
Anyway, you deserve it, Lasco's.
I know.
V, I love you. But we do have to put it in our family calendar because otherwise we will drive across town every day.
Oh, you guys are known, like, we'll meet up and, like, we'll all be at the gym at the same time working out, and Randy be like, Lasco's for breakfast?
They sang happy birthday to him.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, they're
amazing.
so great.
They're
I
awesome.
love them. I
They're
love
awesome.
them. They're fantastic.
Great restaurant.
Well, thank you for joining us this week on Listen. Here's the thing. I'm Katie Kiefer.
And I'm Meko Price. Like and follow if you like what you've seen here.
Absolutely. On TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the things. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Toodles. Look at us. We're like fucking professionals. It's 3:02.